Join me as we go down the fascinating road of cannabis, to be more specific, the endocannabinoid system. A journey along the path of our neurological and immune systems. Something our ancestors may have tapped into, but has been long forgotten with the prohibition of cannabis. But now can be once again studied with laws changing around the world. We'll dive into what we so far discovered and look ahead to who this may help. For we have just scratched the surface what this amazing plant can do. I'm Dave Hansen, and this is True Harvest Connection.
Chapter 1: Cannabinoids.
Cannabinoids are just one of many compounds found in cannabis. Cannabinoids are a class of compounds that can be found in the cannabis plant, in most animals, or as synthetic compounds. Research has found that the cannabis plant produces between 80 and 100 cannabinoids and about 300 non-cannabinoid chemicals. The two main cannabinoids are delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, T.H.C, and cannabidiol, CBD. So what does it all mean? The cannabinoid receptors in the brain, the CB1 receptors, outnumber many of the other receptor types on the brain. They act like traffic cops to control the levels and activity of most of the other neurotransmitters. In a nutshell, cannabinoids have the power to help you and your loved furry friends. New discoveries. The big breakthrough came in 1988 when scientists at the St. Louis University Medical School determined that a rat's brain has receptor sites, specialized protein molecules embedded in cell membranes and are activated by T.H.C. Initially identified by Professor Alan Howlett and her graduate student William Devane, and cloned 2 years later, this cannabinoid receptor, dubbed CB1, turned out to be far more abundant in the mammalian brain than any other G-protein coupled receptor, GPCR. 1992, anandamide, arachidoneuroethanolamine, the first endogenous cannabinoid neurotransmitter identified by scientists. A neurotransmitter is a chemical that nerve cells use to send signals to other neurons. In 1992, a trio of researchers at Hebrew University in Jerusalem, Raphael McCoolum, William Devane, and Lumer Hannes, isolated a novel lipid neurotransmitter that binds with the CB1 receptor in pig brain tissue. They called it anandamide, Sanskrit for bliss, a word suggestive of its mood-altering effects. In 1993, the CB2 receptor, discovered. Scientists identified a second type of cannabinoid receptor, CB2, which is present throughout the immune system, the peripheral nervous system, metabolic tissue, and in many internal organs. Initially reported in Nature in 1993, this discovery shed new light on how cannabinoid signaling regulates inflammation and why cannabinoid therapy could be a helpful treatment for a raft of autoimmune diseases. Aberrant CB2 receptor signaling is implicated in metabolic syndrome, peripheral neuropathy, insulin resistance, liver disease, and other inflammatory conditions. CB2 receptors are found in all immune cells, including microglia and astrocytes, which modulate immune function in the brain. For the most part, however, CB2 receptors are expressed much less than CB1 in the central nervous system. But CB2 is significantly upregulated, kicks into high gear, in response to a brain injury or a neurodegenerative condition, such as Alzheimer's or multiple sclerosis.
Chapter 2: Homeostasis.
The endogenous cannabinoid system, named after the plant that led to its discovery, is perhaps the most important physiologic system involved in establishing and maintaining human health. Endocannabinoids and their receptors are found throughout the body, in the brain, organs, connective tissues, glands, and immune cells. In each tissue, the cannabinoid system performs different tasks, but the goal is always the same.
And remember, here at Biodome, we're dependent on balancing homos within the system.
Homeostasis is at 99.1%.
Homeostasis, the maintenance of a stable internal environment, despite fluctuations in the external environment.
Components of the endocannabinoid system.
The endocannabinoid system is composed of three main components: endocannabinoids, receptors, and enzymes. Endocannabinoids are naturally occurring molecules within our bodies that resemble cannabinoids found in cannabis hemp plants. The endocannabinoids regulate several bodily functions, such as sleep, mood, appetite, learning, memory, body temperature, pain, immune functions, and fertility. They control some of these functions by regulating nerve cell signaling in the brain. Our body produces its own cannabinoid compounds, so it is not surprising that maternal endocannabinoids are incorporated into human milk. 12 endocannabinoid-related compounds have been detected in human milk. The most abundant endocannabinoid in human milk is 2-AG. Levels of 2-AG do not seem to be impacted by handling and storage, but scientific data is limited. While the endocannabinoids were previously found in human milk, nothing has yet been published defining their function in human milk. It has been suggested they may initiate infant suckling. They may stimulate infant appetite and a feeling of well-being, and may also play a role in infant brain and neuronal development.
Chapter 3. Prohibition and its effects.
The endocannabinoid system is a fascinating and intricate network within the human body, responsible for maintaining balance and regulating various physiological functions. CB receptors and endocannabinoids play a crucial role in homeostasis and the potential therapeutic applications. The ECS presents a vast realm of scientific exploration and promises exciting possibilities for future medical advancements. As we continue to unravel its secrets, we can look forward to a deeper understanding of our bodies and the potential for improved health and well-being. So, what's the problem? The problem lies on governments and other big interests suppressing and making laws and enforcing cannabis on the list of Scheduled 1 drugs. Governments paying other governments money to spray poison over the land in attempt to stop the selling and distribution of a plant that has been a part of human culture for thousands of years. As shown in this clip from a Strain Hunters episode, Simon and Arian explain what has been happening to the land in Africa.
They would move slowly.
How many were there at the same time?
There's three helicopters that spray, and one which is called top cover with machine guns, and that one is there to shoot anyone that like throws stones or shoots at them, and then the 3 spray. But they would make a base here. They would come in the morning, they would bring their trucks with their fuel and their poison, and they'd park on that hill, and then the helicopter just lands, refills, and moves slowly, and every little field.
So how many years did they do that?
18 years, man.
18 years in a row?
Yeah, 18 years in a row.
Okay.
But they're doing it in violation of law. They never had the environmental permission to come and spray these.
And this is all land raised on the side of the road? There's
And
nothing else growing. So this is basically what everybody's depending on here in this area then.
there's no other food that's grown here because all the food
Too
is grown
dry.
on top
Yeah,
there. And
it's
as
too
we
dry.
move into this valley, it gets
you
very
can
dry.
see, yeah.
Yes, you heard it right. Government programs poisoning the land, water, wildlife, and humans. And for what? To keep the people away from further research and development for medical use? Was it to protect the people? Kind of backwards when you are polluting the land with chemicals.
In the past, until 2015, there was a scandal going on in a few countries in the world, including South Africa, where helicopters were spraying poison on the plants, which let the farmers move even more up into the mountains, more steep, because when they were on a steep hill, the helicopters could not reach. We had all this information. Even when I was here years ago, we saw the helicopters flying, so they were spraying over people. And you wonder how technically that is possible. You know, they do nothing about alcohol and tobacco, and here they're just poisoning out some stuff which people will smoke anyway. And so that was a terrible situation.
We can spend a good deal of time looking at the timelines and progression of prohibition of cannabis. But the facts are prohibition has only taken place in a very short amount of time. We originally had it right, and from 1600s to the 1890s, American production of hemp was encouraged by the government in the 17th century for the production of rope, sails, and clothing. In 1619, the Virginia Assembly passed legislation requiring every farmer to grow hemp. Hemp was allowed to be exchanged as legal tender in Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Maryland. Continuing farming practices of growing, harvesting, and making medicine from cannabis. Humans once again incorporated this plant into their everyday lives. We see the first regulation of cannabis in 1906 with the Pure Food and Drug Act requiring labeling of any cannabis contained in over-the-counter remedies. So what happened from there? A whole list of regulations, strongholds, and generations being prosecuted by the sheer ignorance and selfishness of mankind. Halting and eliminating any validated research or publications outlining the benefits of cannabis. We are turning a page in history. As of October 2024, the highway to legality looks promising for the United States, with 24 recreational legal states, 12 medical, leaving only 14 states to find some type of solution for their people. It is by no means perfect, and the states have a lot to figure out. Already, local governments getting caught fixing permit cost, backdoor deals, and every state doing their own thing causes mass confusion. But it has opened the doors for people looking to seek medical help using cannabis. Children that would have dozens of seizures in a day, now reduced to a few a week, all to the help of cannabinoid oils. Or people that are taking a shoebox of pills for their Parkinson's, find their tremors stop after a few puffs off a vape pen. This is not a coincidence or a fluke that cannabis has such a positive impact on our bodies, for we have evolved an endocannabinoid system that helps regulate and keep our body in homeostasis. We know too much now to still be in denial. We need to stop letting children and people suffer when there is something that has been around for thousands of years in our culture. Lift the bans and restrictions on publishing scientific discoveries so that future generations can contribute to our understanding of self and the impacts of cannabis. I'm Dave Hansen, and this is True Harvest Connection, Episode 1, the Endocannabinoid System. If you liked the video, please hit that like and subscribe button. More information and links are listed in the description below. Together, we can make a difference to learn, grow, and heal together. Keep pushing to normalize and educate one another. For cannabis may not be for everyone, and that's okay. But it is my mission with True Harvest Connection to bring you information, to inform and educate on subjects that may be sensitive or have limitations on them. Together, we will make a difference.
True Harvest Connection.